So hello fellow Earthlings. This is Earthling 6455463728. And isn't the US like trying to pick a fight with China right now? I mean, it's weird because China went from being the most favored nation like every single year for quite a long time. And then one day, I guess when Donald Trump, the Great Orator, started to run for president, never mind even actually becoming elected, they went from most favored nation, most pooped on nation in a heartbeat. I mean, yeah, there was some bad vibes in terms of things that China was doing, but at the same time, I guess for quite a while, Russia was seen as a much bigger threat. I mean, they actually invaded Crimea. They have this whole thing going on with the Ukraine. So, I'm just wondering, why is it that China became most pooped on nation? Is it because they have flooded the whole world with all of their processed food that's unhealthy for you, like some other countries? Is it because they've flooded the world with their culture, their movies, their sports, their music, like some other countries? Is it because they spy on their citizens and basically have all of their phone records, all their text records, and they're able to infiltrate people's computer systems, the systems of other governments in the world that have been revealed by certain people? Maybe it's because they've sailed their warships all around the world to the other side of the world and just, going up and down for no good reason, driving by places like the Atlantic, looking and seeing what everybody's doing, making sure everything's in order. Maybe that's the reason why. It could be because they've had drone strikes against other countries. Just we see somebody we don't like in your country, we have a drone flying over there by chance, let's just blow them up. Or we know somebody's in a particular location, let's send some missiles and blow that person up. I mean, what is the other country gonna do? Maybe it's because they've tortured people in order to get information, like waterboarding them and, having them naked for long periods of time, and they've admitted it and they say it works and it doesn't really work. It could be because they tried to interfere in other nations' politics and put in the people that they would prefer to see in power. And maybe they might even do that in a particular circumstance just so that they could get a shortcut, like maybe a canal or something, in order to, and just claim that canal as their own. Could be, maybe they've done stuff like that. Or maybe it's because they use their currency like a club in order to beat other people into doing what they want with sanctions. Could be. Then again, it might be because they're a repressive regime that has public beheadings and maimings in order to keep their citizens in line. Maybe they've also arranged for executions to happen in other countries, in the embassies of other countries. Maybe they have repressed entire peoples that they've displaced from their lands, like the Israelis, and just have them on lockdown forever. They can't come in or go out of their country. They can't even import certain goods. It could be because of that. Or it could be because they've kept prisoners from other countries in their out of country naval base for years and years and years, and they don't seem to have any plans to release any of those people who they have swept up in wars that they have all over the world. Or it could be because of the fact that they make 80% of the US's antibiotics at the same time as people keep decrying them for having substandard, sub-quality goods and services. But at the same time, nobody's dying from diseases as a result of antibiotics that don't work in the country that doesn't make antibiotics anymore, but keeps complaining about the quality of the goods made in China, in spite of the fact that all of the toy drones are made in China, in spite of the fact of all the iPhones that are made in China. People's iPhones seem to work. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know, really. China has such poor quality that iPhones should just be falling apart. You buy an iPhone and it just falls apart in your hand after a month or so. It really could be because of any number of different things. I mean, it could be because China wants to invest in poor countries, less developed countries that many of the more developed countries have ignored for long periods of time, like Africa, like countries in Asia, like India. Maybe it's because China wants to invest in those countries that people are upset, because those countries should just stay undeveloped, Or it could be because of China's colonial history. All those different colonies that China has all over the world that they still manage to subjugate in some way. It could be. Oh wait, it could be because China started 2 world wars. That might be the reason why. Because Germany started 2 world wars, and look at how, I guess Germany isn't really treated that horribly. People don't really look down on Germany anymore. But Japan, Japan had colonies. It invaded China. It invaded Korea. Japan was the second richest country in the world for a while. So I don't know. It's just so many reasons to hate China, really. Like I said, it has all these ships just all over the world. It's processed food, like, KFC or the Chinese version of it that is just pushing out there. And all that propaganda from those movies and TV shows and comedies and songs. And we can't forget those thousands and thousands of nuclear weapons that China doesn't, and they don't really have thousands of nuclear weapons. Yeah, that's what. But maybe it's because they don't have thousands of nuclear weapons that they're bad. Now don't get me wrong. China has done a lot of stuff. But a lot of stuff has been done to China. And not, by the Chinese, but also by a lot of other people who shall not be named. And yet, right now, we're in a period where we are demonizing China. And to be a little bit serious, for what exactly? When other people have done horrible stuff all around the world and continue to have their knee in people's backs, threatening people with their currency and all of these different things, and we don't seem to mind. We want more. We want more TV, we want more songs, we want more everything else. So, I don't know. Just makes me feel like maybe we should be a little bit more considerate or compassionate about China, because they're up and coming, and sometimes people don't like that. The thing about it, though, is that, there's no good reason for what it seems like is happening. The US seems to be picking a fight with China. And I don't think that China is going to fall for it, honestly. I think I have another piece about that, about why there isn't that potential war that we think might happen, or not we, but some people think might happen. It's a different world from where it used to be before. We are much more interconnected than we used to be. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, you can wish me lucks. You can like or unlike. You can comment, subscribe, and or share. And of course, you can do nothing. Peace.